of the day here. Team Solo Mid versus Curse. If you haven't voted yet, na.lolesports.com. Vote for who you think will win and vote for that all-star matchup as well. We're about to see two of the top laners in that all-star race for top lane. Dyrus and Voyboy. Go ahead. Jackie turning the corner. Whoa, just face-checking the entire team. And he gets taken out for first blood at 40 seconds.
So that's really, I mean, Curse have had a very close-knit group the past few games as a level 1. For some reason, this game, they all spread out. They weren't expecting TSM to be the aggressors. Like I said, looking at Champion Select, you'd be like, oh, well, Curse could probably do another invade. But no, TSM, they have that Shen taunt in a level 1 is just amazing.
Jackie did take Room Prison, didn't really even get a chance to go off, though. TSM gaining a lot with this vision here. If Curse can get their wards in, Jackie can still kind of play safe in that lane. Like we said, we may not see too much aggression from TSM, so that may play in the favor of Jackie trying to get ramped back up here.
Yeah, Jackie, he just wasn't scared enough. He was like, oh, Nocturne's got his tether on me. That's not really a big deal. Dyrus didn't have to flash taunt. That was a regular taunt. Dyrus still has his flash. The only thing that was burned were Reggie's summoner. So as Karthus, now Reggie's going to have to play a bit more passive.
Right.
We won't see that super aggressive Reginald odd one combo. Karthus is going to try and farm up until he gets his flash back. Hopefully Reggie's going to ward up both sides of his river too, because he cannot overextend. Ryze is one of the best at setting up ganks. The Rune Prison you talked about taking level 1, he lands that, then Udyr comes in and lands a Bear Stun. On top of that, that will be a dead Reginald.
So we'll see St. Vicious trying to get around the jungle. Udyr having one of the really quick, clear times. We'll see if he can make an impact on these lanes. We are going to see the swap actually called in for both teams here as they see down in the bottom lane a farm going on from Voyboy.
So since we're seeing the blue team actually switch, which is not normal here, I guess we do have Dyrus saying, I want Voyboy 1 versus 1. We're just going to fight it out down bottom. I feel really confident.
I think this is the matchup that everybody wants to see right now.
They're giving them the fans what they want.
Absolutely.
Are you not entertained?
You can see Reginald actually came back picking up boots on that, so he's really going to be able to harass Jackie whether he wants to be aggressive or not. So he's kind of saving himself there. Good damage from Turtleneck Special up top. He's just catching those axes over and over again. Odd One may start to make an impact here as double buffs have been grabbed by both junglers.
Reggie going back very early here. I'll look for him to pick up another ward. There we go. Okay, so he is going to play that very defensive. He still has a long time on his flash. Very good back by him. Shoving the lane. He made a conscious decision to shove the lane and then go back so he can have another ward, not just able to cover this top side. As you see, there's only 20 seconds left on that ward in the river.
See Saint just going, actually, yeah, it's quiet for both teams. That kill on Jackie really didn't phase anybody. Kind of didn't even phase him. He didn't flash out of it. He's saying, I'm dead. I'm really playing for the laning phase.
Yeah, he also started with the flask, so he's going to be able to recharge that every time he goes back, and he's going to be able to save money in the long run on buying potions.
So everybody just trying to get a feel for one another right now as the junglers making their way around, finally getting those golems. It looks like Saint will not make presence in the top lane just yet. He goes back. We'll see if the Odd One follows suit as well. Leave these lanes to each other right now.
Now, the first thing I'd have to point out is when there's globals on a team you're fighting as a jungler. So we're looking at St. Vicious's perspective right now. You're going up against a team with 2 globals. Usually, I would put my ganks focused on both of the lanes that have those globals. So I would go after Reggie and I'd go after Dyrus so that they cannot turn around my ganks in a different lane and make me pay for it.
We'll see if they try to do that. Saint still trying to get himself ramped up a bit. He did go for boots. He actually did not go Modric right away, so he's really working off that Phoenix stance damage to just get himself fed up and probably start taxing these lanes if he can't start to get those kills to come out. Just 5 minutes in here. Special and both Wild Turtle pushing just Cop and Elements rather back to the turret. They're not really letting him get too much farm. 29-16 in that farm lane.
Yeah, this is definitely the most dangerous lane, this Wild Turtle special lane. As you see there, he lands a nice hook and flay combo.
You just expect, is he like running armor? He just goes right in, trying to take all the poke damage to himself. Saint finally trying to make presence in the lane, though. He will be up against quite a bit of crowd control. They have the stand aside. They have that play as well. He gets locked up, but Special maybe the one to get caught. Flash is burned. The Void Ooze goes down, and Wild Turtle is completely slowed there. Good lantern toss. Puts St. Vicious in a bad spot. They turn it around for a kill. It goes to Special, though. They're still working in their favor for right now. Cop could be going down here. He does not have enough mana to turn that Bio Arcane on. One last auto attack. tag. He does get it before he goes down. A Cathian surprise could give Jackie to work with something here. That was, it looks like he's going to stay off to the side.
Huge for TSM right there. I was saying this is the most dangerous lane. They don't even have level 6 Reggie or level 6 Dyrus. Another
what a good death sentence.
Yeah, it's not going to be another kill, but wow, they are on fire. That lane's so dangerous early, and then it's only going to get stronger because as soon as Dyrus hits level 6, he'll have that Stand United. I mean, you even have the global from Wild Turtle. It's not the same as a Reginald ult or a Dyrus ult, but it is a little bit more damage that can come out of anywhere if he's able to hit that long range. And then I guess you can consider Nocturne a global. They nerfed it so much that I don't really call that. I don't call that a global anymore.
So it looks like actually Spirit Stone going in the favor of St. Vicious there, or in the pocket I should say, and the odd one picks up the Madrids as expected. Lanes will not go for a swap here. It looks like Comp and Elements are going to try to stay and push this lane back. He is kind of closing the CS gap, but it's slow. It's 1 to the 3 or 4 that Wild Turtle's getting right now. Looking around at the buys, both choose to go for the early Vampire Acceptor actually, and Elliot Comp is working with Sona on that one, so he's really trying to just keep himself in that lane.
We just saw the very early power of Draven. That's why Wild Turtle is usually so aggressive, but this time, Curse played right into his hands. They were able to kite him so well. Xpecial even had gotten tanky early because he had been collecting every single soul, and they were able to turn that around. Now, look at this bully in this lane. There's nothing that Comp and Elements can do to contest these minions anymore.
And they've no Tri-Bush is warded, so Saint has to head towards that bottom lane, and he was already making his way. Dyrus holding on to taunt, gets the double one. Actually, Bear Stance landed on the taunt, so they may not be able to get the damage that they wanted. Requiem comes in, odd one looks to turn it around with the counter gank. It may not be Dyrus able to follow, though. He's got to be very careful here. Voyboy still doing a lot of damage with that ultimate on it. Just wears off, and they're both forced to go out. Odd one is out of mana.
So Voyboy also used his red elixir and at least got the ghost and the red elixir off cooldown now. So that's slowly going to be ticking here, and TSM did not lose a member, although they did burn a large cooldown in that Reginald Requiem.
You can just see the aggression of Wild Turtle right now in Xpecial on this lane. Xpecial said he enjoys that aggression that Wild Turtle tries to put out, and he really complements it well. You can see him getting all the auto attacks he can in, and they're both drawing aggro from that turret back and forth. That's how aggressive they are.
Also with Odd One hitting 6 and immediately burning his ult to try and save from that, it's actually on a pretty long cooldown itself. It's not on the same level of a Requiem, but it's going to give them some more breathing room. They don't really have to worry about the paranoia coming in. That's pretty good. For another few minutes.
Free could be proud. Completely unintentional proud as well. 8 minutes in here, 4-1. About a 2K gold lead in favor of Team Solo Mid as they're working the lanes. Reginald picking a lot of that up by himself with that first blood and then a kill thereafter. And it looks like Saint is going to walk through this ward after previously being told. They go for the ping, and he looks like he heads back, realizing that, yeah, that's a ward.
Yeah, that would be a very painful gank for them. We saw it turn around when there was no assistance, but Dyrus has his Stand United up. So if St. Vicious went through with that gank, it would definitely be bad for Curse.
Voyboy trying to push back. That is 60 to practically 60 in that lane. 61 to 59 in CS. Both have grabbed the Giants belt as they mirror each other in their builds. Back to that late game. We'll have to see what Voyboy on Renekton and Dyrus on Shen can do for their teams this game.
Also, it's very interesting to see which one of them will back off from the other first, because Voyboy's got a teleport. Voyboy could use the teleport now.
Use the barrier. Can he come up to help? There's the teleport onto the minion, but it's going to be just too little, too late. And now Dyrus actually stops the teleport. I was going to say Dyrus is going to have that lane to himself, but no longer.
So yeah, Voyboy did cancel his teleport because there's no point going up there anymore. They're already dead. But I was going to say, which one of those bottom laners would back off from the other first, since they can both interrupt each other's teleports? Now Voyboy doesn't even have his available, so St. Vicious going in middle, actually.
He does get the lockdown. The Room Prison and the Bear stacked on top of each other, so Reginald decides to go in. The last fight versus Nijaki, Reggie came out on top, and he knows he has that advantage here. He goes down first, however. Will he have the Requiem? It is down for way too long.
Good job there by Voyboy. I mixed up the names of the top laners, but Voyboy was the one to stun Dyrus's. And so then Dyrus never did get to arrive in that mid lane. We are back into it, though. And now, there we go. I got to get back up to lat.
Man, 10 minutes in on this one. You see the buffs being regained by it. He may back, though. He does not have any mana, so the lane pressure for TSM is kind of halted at the moment, unless somebody in lane can pressure it. And actually, it looks like they will finally switch it up. They're going to send Draven back down to the bottom lane. That's Wild Turtle, rather, as they leave the other AD and support up top still for Curse.
very action-packed early game here.
It really is.
And the top turret has... Oh, that I have the spectator, bud.
The top turret, yeah, it's taken down. So that's 1 to 0 for TSM here. At 16,000 gold to 13 as well. So Curse, not like we said, not that big of a lead in the early game. They got to kind of stretch that gold to make it count, and it's all on Reginald right now. And there's another fight between these two. Reginald's kind of just face-taking Jackie, and I think it's at that point where Jackie's got a bit too much burst.
Yeah, good thing Jackie doesn't have flash right now because Karthus is very vulnerable to Ryze this early. Ryze can just bully him and burst him down. TSM going with the dragon here. They have the vision, so it won't be contested by Curse, but they did leave their top turret open, and Cop and Elements are going to do their best to make them answer.
Yeah, St. Vicious is actually going to come up here too, so they're going to get some good damage on this. They are going to take this down, and Voidboy returning to the bottom lane is probably going to push that as hard as possible too, so they can start focusing on the mid. This is kind of where Curse starts to excel, when they start to gain that early control of the map.
Yeah, and you can see Wild Turtle is definitely going to push his advantage. He has a BF sword to Cop's pickaxe, so that's going to be huge. Now they're all moved to middle. They don't want to give this up, and Odd One going right in on Jackie.
Right on Jackie. Oh my gosh, everybody's there. It's a party behind the turret, and they just lose aggro fast enough to drop mid. It looks like TSM is the one dictating this, as Voidboy may be pushed, or kind of have to come back mid. It looks like he's going to stay bot.
Yeah, he's trying to get some damage on that bottom turret, but he doesn't have enough. Reggie's going to come down through the river. This could be dangerous for Reggie,
That's
actually.
Giant's belt damage right there.
Yeah, that's... Reggie's going to have to be pretty careful here, because Voidboy actually has a nice amount of rage.
Yeah, not a lot of mana on Reggie is just going to be for that farm. You can see Voidboy actually putting him off, just the presence of squeezing him down. And looks like Wild Turtle's going to soak this up, 91 to 75. So still, Cop had a quite hard time in that lane. 3-1-2 Wild Turtle versus a 1-2-0 Cop.
Definitely tough for them because of that early gank. You have to give that to St. Vicious there. They got kited so well by that Thresh and Draven combo that it really backfired. It looks like Odd One going to support Reggie down here so they don't lose out on this bottom turret. They want to keep their turret advantage as long as they possibly can because they have those ultimates in their back pockets. They want to stall out the game until they have them all ready and then make a play.
This is something I really enjoy, the Odd One, when he plays junglers like Nocturne. I was under Karthus and I was like, who's he playing again? Junglers like Nocturne, junglers with the quick movement speed buffer, steroid they can give themselves. They control the lanes so well. They're always backing each other up. Like you said, if Reginald's there, the Odd One is just behind him.
I like what Darius is doing too. He's getting a lot of farm, split pushing fairly early. He's got one ward, so after that creep wave, he'll probably back off. But when you really want to get Shen to that early point where he can duel anyone on the other team, and then you have a real split pushing threat. Because if he gets behind early, then it's almost useless, and you really lose a lot of that advantage.
And you really can't vote for one or the other right now, especially on build. They're going for the same dang thing.
They both did very well. Both of their globals, Voidboy's teleport was foiled because it was too late, and then Darius got his ultimate stopped. So they're pretty even. Yeah, they're pretty even right now.
So a lot of pressure from Team Solomon in the bottom lane. They're going through the outer ring of turrets here. Does not look like Curse is going to be able to stop this with all members, but it looks like they're going to try to put a test here. Good damage in. The Crescendo just misses out, and it looks like they're going to continue on this fight. The teleport coming in. Voidboy is going to slice right across the team, and that could exactly be what they need to finalize this one. Wild Turtle very low, 200 health for him in special. St. Fish is caught in the back line, so low. Everybody is so low here. Voidboy trying to clean up. Double kill coming in for him. It's going to be Jackie finally wandering down the river. It's going to be St. Vicious going down as well. Cop getting chased away by Dyrus, but he knows he is pinched in a whole lot of death and flashes out of that in nice trick style.
Yeah, good escape there from Dyrus, diving right through the turret, using the flash after Cop dodges him. TSM, with all their globals, they used the Requiem, they used the Stand United as well. They still weren't able to come out of that one ahead.
It looked like in that fight, like all the ADs were hitting each other like this last shot is going to kill him. So they turn to the next person. Everybody just a sliver of health limping away from that one if they didn't eventually go down. 15 minutes in, 7-4 as the action continues here. Every few minutes, Curse and TSM at each other's necks at this mid part of the game. 23,000, that gold lead is kind of just holding steady for TSM at that $3 grand lead. 2-1 in turrets, so actually Curse put a lot of focus on that bottom turret. They did not want to lose it.
Reggie flashes in for Cop.
They want this kill so bad. Cop's not going to be able to get out, and he is really having a hard time this game. That KDA is going to be going down.
That's going to be painful. 1 and 3 already. I have to say, though, Jackie did a good job in that last brawl down bottom, running his little legs all the way down there. He beat Reggie by a good 4 seconds down there, and so that was really a big part in Curse coming out ahead.
Well, Turtle continuing to do what he does best. If he can't find kills, he finds the farm. Right now, 136, only behind Dyrus, who's 139, keeping himself farmed up as well. Sunfire Cape, and actually Voyboy with his 2 kills has been able to grab another one on top, another Giant's Belt I should say, on top of a Sunfire Cape, and is assisting the team with pinks and greens.
St. Vicious also got the early Merc Treads, so he's got his tenacity already, and then he's going to try and help his team out. He's building an Aegis of the Legion. As soon as they complete that, it'll help out a whole lot because their team's really focused on the team fights, having everyone together so they can make use of that crescendo. They can have Cop firing away from the back, and they don't want to get caught out by all the different movement spells that TSM have. TSM have just so much more movement and global pressure. Really, Curse are just relying on Voyboy with his Summoner Teleport, which has a much longer cooldown.
So let's talk a little bit about how much trouble Cop is in, because he's Kog'Maw. Yeah, he's 1-3-2 right now, but he's still going to be a factor for the team, right?
Yeah, Kog'Maw is one of those carries that back when we were interviewing, I believe it was Chaox and Cop both said one of the best things about Kog'Maw is you don't need as many items for him to be effective. Still, he's one of the great late game scaling AD carries, so if you do get items, then he becomes beastly because in the end game he has amazing range. But if you don't, then his kit is actually just inherently really strong. And the only drawback is that he doesn't have that escape built in.
For sure.
So he's an inherently really strong AD, both base and scaling. It's just that he does not have an escape.
And it's interesting maybe that he took Barrier this time for some reason over Cleanse against this team solo mid crowd control.
Well, if he does get taunted by Dyrus, that he might regret that. But it's really just the taunt from Dyrus and the fear from Odd. Oh, Dyrus now in a bit of pressure.
That is going to be a lot of crowd control. They're going to make sure not to stack this. A good taunt as well. Dyrus being very patient in this. He's going to have to wait for that to come back up on cooldown. So right now it's just Dyrus getting punched in the back of the head as he runs. He is not going to have that turret there. Nobody else is coming to help him. If he chooses to go Tri-Bush, Nijaki is going to be there to greet him. And he says, hello, handshake, high five. Nijaki picks up the kill in the end.
So Dyrus right there sacrificed his life basically for Dragon.
Yep.
The rest of TSM was like, yes, we can't help you, but we're going to grab something for your death. You will not have died in vain.
So Curse now using that, knowing that he is down, they're going to work their map presence and try to take away these resources in the jungle, not really having anything on the bottom side or vision here. Are they going to set up any as they leave? Yeah, they do put a ward down at blue. All right, I was going to think they would just leave it out with nothing.
Yeah, so just a ward at blue and a kill. That's actually a pretty good trade for TSM. They will take that one. That was very good for them.
Taking stock of the items. Nijaki, bless you, sir. See him sneezing on the screen. 2-2-0, and mid is Rise. The Rod of Ages finished as well. A lot of just mirrored purchases here. Sunfire's Rod of Ages coming out. There are BF swords in the Bloodthirster and the Infinity Edge, but it's not the same buy. Cop wants that Infinity Edge for Kog'Maw. Get that attack speed behind it, and you will be that late game terror that we were talking about, whether you have all the items you want or not. Looking at the junglers, the Aegis looking to be built on the odd one, also built already on St. Vicious. So coming in with the magic damage, and actually, this is kind of the first time we've seen teams going for the Aegis that early. They kind of wait until the last part of the game, and then the Bulwark.
Yeah.
Not first time, I should say. Recently.
I like that, you know, Jackie and Reginald have both mirrored each other, like you said, with the stacking items. But you can tell, Reggie was so far ahead, he got his Rod of Ages. It's stacked almost twice as much as Jackie. So he got his a good 4 or 5 minutes before Jackie did. His is already at 120. So I mean, he only has to wait 4 more minutes. And he will be, or actually 8 more minutes. And he will be fully stacked there. His tier also far ahead of Jackie's, so he's doing really good. He also has that needlessly large rod, adding another impact on it. And Karthus is one of those champions you really, really do not want to get fed, because even if Reggie makes a misplay, he'll be able to make use of the passive and still do a lot of damage to you after he's dead. He wants to get in the middle of your team, even if it costs him his life.
Yep. And if time is money, it's going to be about 600 gold worth of time. That's what Cop needs to finish the Infinity Edge. So you're going to see Curse not even wanting to engage here. Voidboy may be doing his own thing 1v1 down bottom, but they are waiting for that damage spike. You see the Glacial Shroud coming out on Rise now. The needlessly large rod spike or Requiem damage and all of his damage for Reginald, so he's really looking to make an impact. Beginning at the end, the hook onto Elements. It looks like they're going to be able to wipe him out. Will TSM continue the aggression? Wow, St. Vicious getting very antsy on this one. He may find himself in a real bad spot. The exhaust goes down. They're using quite a bit to chase after him. Flashes that, and it looks like he's going to be able to bear out safely.
Down bottom, we just had Dyrus and Voidboy brawling. Nobody able to enter. And it was just a nice dissonance from there from Xpecial. They controlled the vision. They had Curse walking into their own jungle, not safe, and St. Vicious goes in, makes the same mistake.
Saint just flashed to get out of a situation. He goes in, making Reginald flash there. He gets the ultimate from Dyrus. They're able to take out Cop as well. The Requiem finally coming in, and it looks like they're going to be able to do some good damage, but that is a lot of 25% health bars, and TSM is going to have to micro this one in and out. It looks like they are going to back off. Voidboy's ult just close to wearing off.
Yeah, I like that. Wild Turtle chasing after them with only 50 life to his name. Gets healed up very quickly with those Bloodthirster stacks.
See what they can do. 11-5 here, and that gold lead has just reached 6,000. 3-1 in turrets, and it's really coming from all of the champions. This isn't something that we see really TSM or Curse going for. They'll methodically push down. They'll maybe be, you know, 5 or 10 kills by right now, but there's 16, and that's where all the gold is coming from. There have been a few dragons grabbed. For your Dyrus, you know, valiantly wasting his life, not wasting his life, but putting his life up and throwing himself in the fire.
So this is now going to be up to Cop and Elements trying to poke over the walls. It's very dangerous because Thresh can still hook somebody.
Looks like he's just going to stay on the outside.
Oh!
Nothing so close from the living artillery, but it was not the damage they needed. Baron going over to Team Solo mid, and they completely dictate the game now. This is going to be a tough one for Curse, and like we said, time, money, or money in to come back. It's about 10 to 15 minutes for Curse to really work this one back for themselves.
TSM feeling very happy right now. Not only did they bait out kills with that vision game, but they ended up getting the Baron in the end. Karthus just does so much single target damage, and since Reggie was ahead early, that was just very easy for them to burn it down. Draven as well, just a beast on those single targets. You can see them also taking out a free dragon, spelling that one down. Will they all take this lantern to get out? Oh, only Wild Turtle with the quick fingers.
He's the only one that brought his Metro pass. That brings him up to 10,000 at about 25 minutes in here as we're getting towards that mid part of the game. We look around, and there is 10,000 gold alone. Actually, it's 11,000 gold in the pocket of Wild Turtle. The closest behind him is somebody with 8,900.
It's a fun game to see who on your team's got the quickest fingers. Who's going to be the one to grab the lantern? They all want to get out of there.
8-2-4 for him as he kind of throws his KDA in front of Cop right now, waving it in the air as Cop trying to get back into this one. He does have the Infinity Edge. He's looking to finally build that attack speed, as he has just been pushed off it for so long here, down about 30 CS on that lane as well. 192 to 192 is actually Voidboy just got like 4 with a call to Meek there, but they are even in CS, just not the kills and score.
Yeah, so the top laners really balancing out this time. You can't really say this game will influence that all-star vote because both of them played really well. But we usually see people talking about how Infinity Edge is so much better than Bloodthirster late game. Draven is one of those champions that has to have lifesteal because he has to be in there. And oh, Jackie does get a hook onto his face, but he's going to be all right.
That's all right. We all catch a fish hook once in a while. You can just take it right out. Don't get worried.
Since Draven has that close range, he really does need that lifesteal though, and he benefits a lot from it since he does have that attack steroid, enabling him to stay in those fights and kite people like we saw him do so effectively early game.
Looking around 2-0 and 8, the odd one really liking. I'm really liking. He probably has always enjoyed Nocturne, but he's playing very well on it after not seeing him there for a long time. We'll have to see what they can put up for this next fight. What are we looking for from Curse right now, Kobe? What mistake are they looking for TSM to make?
Well, they really have to wait for a dive. That's pretty much anything because TSM have the split pushing advantage. It's Dyrus down here bottom, going to town. Voidboy does not have his summoner teleport up, so Voidboy can't. I mean, they could send Voidboy down there and just say you absolutely have to interrupt Dyrus if Dyrus teleports. That's the only way they're sending Voidboy if he has full confidence that he can stop Dyrus's Stand United. It looks like they are going to send him down here because it's so close. Voidboy can actually walk back to the mid-fight when that does happen. But TSM, they're in such an overpowering position right now that they have to get those single pokes onto the turret. It's hard with Draven, that 550 range, but it looks like Odd One's going to be the one to tank the turret. Takes a few hits, they poke it down a tiny bit, then back out.
You just see the Zeal being picked up by Cop as he tries to get back from the fountain. He hit Wild Turtle once or twice and really changed Wild Turtle's mind about being in the spot he was. So Cop, if not focused correctly, could change this fight around. Looks like they're going to start diving in here, throwing down the Defile. Reginald, they're just zoning out to take a turret down as they actually face tank it as well. Pushing Curse off of the inhibitor, and you can just see the strength. It's not even that they can wait for a dive, it seems, Kobe.
The only big thing TSM have to watch out for is a crescendo. If they all get locked up by a crescendo, then Cop does have an Infinity Edge. He can put out a tremendous amount of damage. So as long as they spread out like that and they zone Curse away from the turret, then they'll be okay.
I'm sure Cop would absolutely love a green elixir right now. He's praying to the Riot gods.
Tough break.
Back in the store, do you have one in your bag, sir? But he does not. Cop trying to build that attack speed as fast as possible. Season 3 making that a little bit harder as it got a bit more expensive. But like we said, he can still ramp up that Q. He can get the passive speed from that up to about 25%. We're going to see if he can really output the damage. Really, all focus is going to be on him next fight to see if he can just shred everybody off the map.
Yeah, TSM really, they have so much AoE damage with Reggie being extremely strong right now, 287 ability power, that they can really just melt whoever's in front of them. Even St. Vicious has to be careful right now.
Oh, there's one. Wild Turtle does get hit. It's a perfect stack on the crowd control, but he gets out a good flash there. Diver's coming in from the taunt, and it looks like they push Cop out a sliver of health. He will surely go down to the Requiem. They may have what they need to take down the base, but they could be pushed off as well. Voidboy still being a huge tank for his team now.
There's that crescendo. Good job by Elements. He at least got the really important target, that is Wild Turtle. He didn't get everybody, but he at least got that one, and so they were able to trade 1-for-1. Still, TSM grabs the turret.
The stand aside goes off. Who are they going to decide to hit? It's going to be Special. He may go down here. A great flip, and he's going to get crowd control that Curse throws Curse around, rather, stopping them for a quick kill. Now 1-for-1 in this as they continue to go after Special. Coming in, he flashes out, and it looks like they're going to be able to turn this one around. Dyrus is so tanky right now. Odd One picking up another kill for himself. 3-0 and 10. Almost surely going down, but the Lantern Toss save. Voidboy doesn't get anything on the first slice, and he can't dice. Played backwards as well. Oh, Special gets slow-corded, and it looks like he goes down after saving as a team. Good guy supports Special.
A valiant effort right there. He also stays around to get off the backwards flay. He does not get out with his own life, but he does save Odd One.
That's what you're supposed to do, right? You throw yourself up, put yourself in the fire. 17-8. It shows that Team Solo Mid is coordinating well in these fights and executing well. 50,000 gold right now to 40,000 gold. That gold lead has been staying strong, and Curse has not found a way to turn it in their favor yet.
Now Reggie has completed his death cap as well, so he's not afraid of dying anymore at this point. He'll go in there first, like we just saw, get his AoE down, and continue to put out that damage. His Requiem is going to be up for the next team fight as well, so that's a guaranteed 800 magic damage coming down, guaranteed, whether you kill him or not.
Minus a bit of bulwark. Everybody hug St. Vicious when Requiem goes off.
Yeah, magic. Everybody huddle close to the bear.
Huddle up. And it looks like going for that Phantom Dancer as he's still trying to piece it together. Cop getting to that item build, 500 gold under his belt. He looks to grab a little bit more to get that, but TSM pushing very hard down the mid lane. And, you know, yesterday we kind of said, I think it was Niantanso on AD carry, we're like, you have a lot of farm. You may have to start distributing that to the other team. Right now, everybody on Curse is looking to grab that farm.
Distributing to the other team would be very generous.
Distributing to the rest of your team.
We felt bad for them.
But now it's kind of vice versa, right? Everybody on Curse is looking for that farm, and it's coming in real slow.
Yeah, and I like how TSM are not even going over towards that Baron buff. I mean, they see the red symbol has popped up. Yeah, we're not even going to go for that. It's too risky. We'll get a free inhibitor because there's no damage that's going to come out there. That's not a risky play for us. We'll take a straight up 5-on-5 fight at this point.
See, that's scary. Voidboy and St. Vicious both wanted to go in on that wall. They were holding it, but it would have caused everybody else to just walk through the fight. And there is a lot of damage right now coming out from Wild Turtle, and they would have started the fight with half health bars. A great crescendo there Actually, it only hits the odd one just on the edges. Unlucky for Elements, and he goes down to Wild Turtle as he starts to spark it off here on the fight. Nijak, he looks to get focused down. Divers picks up that kill. Cop is the next one in the eyes of TSM, and Reginald finds himself a kill as they throw it around. Everybody getting a piece of the action here. They look for the Nexus turrets, Kobe, and then the Nexus.
Yeah, I can see Crescendo is the only thing TSM are worried about. As soon as that's down, everybody go in. Wild Turtle doesn't have to get worried about dancing. That's going to be the Nexus.
There it is. You can see Void Boy just doing a nice dance on the backside, and Team Solo Mid finds a way through the defensive curse.